Perfect. Okay, so this is going to be an update on the Gabby Petito case. There has been a lot of developments since yesterday.
A lot.
A lot, which we definitely want to update you all and kind of, I guess, provide some more information based on our first video. Is there anything that you want to start with or add that you've heard or have any
Um,
watch?
yeah, I think pretty much what you've heard. I think it's kind of crazy that they're searching the house right now. I wonder what they're looking for. I really want to see and find out what's going on there.
Definitely. So FBI agents this morning and Northport police did storm Brian Laundrie's house where he lives with his parents. It was earlier this morning. There was news reporters that were already there, I guess, just like camping out in case anything was going to happen.
Mhm.
And no one obviously was aware of this. Obviously, they want to, you know what I mean, come in to deliver their search warrant that they ended up having without any notice. So anything couldn't have been hidden or removed from the house, things like that. So yeah, this is definitely something we're going to touch on in terms of what they could potentially be looking for. Okay, so I'm just going to do an update since our last post. So September 20th, which is today. Wait a second. Yeah, it's today. So actually, yesterday, September 19th, there was a body found in Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. It was an isolated camping area. There's like a large gravel area. I would assume that there's places that you can camp. This is more of like an isolated area. I guess considered a little bit more dangerous. But if you want that isolated area while you're camping and get that full experience of the national park, you would camp there.
Right.
And pretty much the police, Northport Police and FBI, um, got a tip from a YouTuber and a TikTok channel who were also doing what considered van life. That's similar
Hmm.
to Gabby and Brian, where they're traveling around the U.S. in a van and taking footage, posting it to their blog. So the van was seen in her footage when she went through her footage. This footage was from August 27th, but I guess she didn't review it until this past week, or sorry, over the weekend.
Hmm.
So when she was going through the footage, she found the van that they were said to be traveling in. And the way, so you couldn't see the license plate. You were
Hmm.
unable to zoom in the footage. But I guess as they were filming in their car,
You could see her hat.
exactly the it's like
Yeah.
a sun hat. They
Hmm.
were able to identify Gabby's sun hat on the kind of the front dashboard,
Hmm.
and that the police used that tip to kind of say like, okay, we have a reasonable evidence to be able to go search that area because that hat was
Hmm.
seen um,
And
belonging to
pictures,
Gabby. Yeah,
everything.
I've
Yeah,
been
she
seen in
was
the
wearing
police,
that hat.
yeah, seen in the police footage on August 12th when they had
Exactly.
their disagreement and were pulled over by police.
Yep.
So they took that information and began to search in that area, and then not too long after that, a body was found. It
Hmm.
hasn't been 100% confirmed that it's Gabby. They haven't done any like DNA or I guess dental records um,
Hmm.
or any kind of forensic evidence to confirm that it's her. But based on the description, I feel like it's going to
That's
be
what we're
her.
thinking, right?
Um,
What gets me is I read that they were back out searching for her or something. That's what gets me. So why is that?
Right? So I heard that the remains that they found yesterday were taken to the coroner's office in the area. However, the coroner is still out today. I don't know if it's like currently happening, but earlier today, he or she was out searching in that area for more remains.
Okay.
So,
Maybe
yeah,
it was like something happened and remains were strewn about or something.
it could be
Yeah.
animals and
Yeah.
wildlife, or
Right.
it could be depending on cause of death.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like it's probably due to animal activity in the
Yeah.
area. They said they saw a lot of bear footprints, and it's just like
Mhm.
such an isolated area that I would assume. And when you have a decomposing body, it's been there
Yeah.
for 23 days,
Right.
allegedly 23 days. It's going to decompose, and there's going to be animal activity that in the area that could, spread their remains about.
Definitely. Right.
And on top of that, they could be looking just for more evidence. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
That could link um, the murderer to the case, whether
Yes.
that is Brian or
Or right.
or another sick person.
Right.
And well, they haven't classified him as a suspect,
Mhm.
and they didn't do an autopsy yet because they said the
Mhm.
coroner is still out in the area searching for more remains and possible evidence. So there has been a cause of death, or manner of death. So we don't know. We don't know. It could be a suicide. You know what I mean? Like we have no information. There hasn't been said, oh, let's say if there was a gun found or another kind of weapon that could have, been
Mhm.
responsible for or been used by Gabby to commit suicide. We don't know any of that
Right.
information, so it's kind
I
of
know. I know. While they were searching the house today, they kind of focused on the back area of the house. There was a shed area, and I saw them taking a bunch of pictures. And they opened up the shed door and took some stuff out. I thought maybe like if they had found his body in there or something, but I don't think that's what happened. I think he's still missing. I think he's on the run. I think he knows he did something messed up and screwed up. But that's kind of what I wanted to mention, the trial by media. He's
yeah.
kind of already being accused as guilty even though he hasn't been tried yet. He honestly could have just left her out there and knew something horrible happened after she went no contact and ran because he freaked out, knew it was his fault.
And it's hard too because let's say if there is his DNA found in her body, obviously depending where it is found, and if it is found, let's say if they found defensive wounds and there is his DNA found under her fingernails.
Hmm.
Well, they're engaged or dating. They were
Yeah.
just on a cross country road trip. That's
Right.
not going to be shocking. You know what I mean? And
No,
especially
not
too,
at
like,
all.
they may have had physical disagreements in the past.
Hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to, that DNA may not be able to be used to, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
convict or, link him to a crime if a crime has been committed based off of the
Hmm.
autopsy results. So that's going to be the hard one. And who knows? Like, it's such a desolate area. Like, honestly, anything could have happened at this point.
Anything, right.
I definitely am leaning towards the fact that he did do something just
Me
because of the
too.
fact that, and if they can date that, um, she was murdered on, or she passed away on, let's say, August 27th,
Hmm.
and they can kind of cause at the time or the day that she did die,
Right.
there would be more evidence to link Brian because he had the van that showed up on September 1st, and that van is
Hmm.
in the footage. And why would he not be with the van on that day of the footage that the footage was
Exactly.
taken? It's very
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, definitely trial by media. Like
Yeah,
the
definitely.
case, oh my goodness, why am I blanking?
So many cases. So
So
many
many cases.
cases.
Wow, I'm blanking currently. There's the other one. Uh,
More
wow,
cases than I can count. Shit.
there is the one, oh my goodness, why am I blanking? My brain is broken currently. Maybe it's the Benadryl or give me 1 second. Shannon Watts. Shannon
Yes,
Watts.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the Watts case.
Mhm.
Sorry, just give me 1 second. I just have to send a quick text to
I
somebody.
think yeah. I think what it all come down to basically is when he's found.
Right? In his state and whether sorry, give me 1 second.
No, you're fine.
Whether he is alive
Willing to talk.
and willing to talk or he's dead. I don't
Right.
I honestly
I'm surprised they didn't find him. That
well
and
that's
I misspoke yesterday. I said a 250-acre land. No, that was a 250,000 acre land that they were searching for him. I
and
totally misspoke. That is way bigger than I initially thought.
I do have the name of it. It's in the Carlton Reserve in Florida.
Mhm. Mhm.
So his parents reported him missing on Friday, September 17th in the
Mhm.
evening.
Mhm.
But we're going to rewind a little bit. On that Wednesday, okay, let me start. Tuesday, they said he was last seen, September 14th, which is 6 days ago. He was last seen then. They said he was going to go to Carlton Reserve. Apparently, he did drive his car there. He had, I think it's a silver Mustang. So he did park his car there. And then I'm assuming the parents didn't hear from him because they said on Friday when they reported him missing that they haven't heard from him since Tuesday. But on Wednesday, his Mustang shows up in the driveway of his parents' house. they said that they went and picked it up and returned it back to the residence, which I think is very weird because why, like, if you were concerned for his well-being, let's say he went there to camp or hang out for a few nights, why would you take his uh, vehicle, you know what I mean, that's going to be able to get him from
Right.
home to
Yeah.
wherever he's going to go? Why would you take that back?
Unless they
Yeah,
know that he won't be using it to come back.
exactly. So, but like,
Mhm.
I can't see them being like, oh, I know, let's say he like offed himself. That's what a lot of police people are saying and committed suicide.
Yeah, I
They'll
can't
just
see them covering for that, but maybe they don't know he did that. I mean, I can see parents definitely covering up for murder. Look at the Casey Anthony case, her mom to
I
the end.
don't know how she wasn't charged.
I know.
There's a lot of cases, you know what I mean, where you obviously never want to send an innocent person to
Mhm.
jail, but there's so much evidence and it just doesn't fit. It
Right.
boggles my mind.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's something I'm
That's
sure we'll
crazy.
cover.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
case.
But another one that was tried by media.
Exactly.
Because
Yep.
in terms of like, legally, there had like we don't even know if a crime has been committed because we don't know the cause
Of
of
death
death or
yet,
the
right.
manner of death. So we don't know if it was, you know, even if it was said like, oh, she was murdered or it was a
Mhm.
like, it was a homicide. Right now, do we have any confirmed linkage? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's what I think they were trying to look for in the search warrant that they served at his residence, whether it was be they found like similar brush, you know, attached to the van, or just anything that could link him to that location. Which again, there is that YouTuber that gave in that tip, which helped find the body,
Mhm.
just to begin their search in that area. So we do have that at least. So it's kind of a link in itself, but
Mhm.
he still remains a person of interest and not a suspect.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I honestly think they're keeping that language, which apparently that language, a person of interest, was
It
a
keeps him
couple
from running, which he's already doing.
exactly, or maybe more open to talk if he is found. But apparently that term is was made up by the media,
Mhm.
just a term, you know what I mean, for them.
Really? I didn't know that.
I think I heard it on. I think it's called Police by the Cuff.
Mhm.
It's sorry, Police off the Cuff. It's retired law enforcement. They do a podcast and YouTube videos. They're currently
Mhm.
on there live now. I was just listening to it before I came on here, and that yeah, that person of interest is a term I guess coined by the media for
Mhm.
sure. Like it has meaning behind it. You think person of interest, and then you kind of automatically assume assume it kind of means suspect, but it's actually
Right.
nothing. It's not, like, there's nothing legally you can do. You
Yeah.
can arrest them, you know what I mean? But it's just a term they can use to kinda, I guess, like,
Talk to you.
or yeah, just kinda get people to follow the
Right.
case.
Mhm.
Let me just go over my notes quickly. Um, let's see here. So, yeah, at this point, Brian's location still remains unknown. We have no idea where he is. I did see a post that said there were multiple sightings in Alabama.
Alabama. Yep. I
Yeah,
saw that as well.
Tillman's Corner, Alabama, and I don't
Mhm.
know how strong this tip is. I'm going based off of what's being reported in social media, which obviously, like, at one hand,
The pictures I saw, it looked like him for sure.
yeah, for sure. So you go from one hand that, you know what I mean, there's a YouTuber, a blogger, TikToker
Yeah.
who
I mean,
ended up
Florida's not too far from Alabama. He could be hitching it, and I'm so surprised nobody has reported him yet, though. I mean, like, everybody has heard of this case.
and maybe they haven't been reporting sightings because I feel like there's gonna be an angry mom
Right.
chasing him. Like,
Yes.
he's safer in police custody than he is
Yeah.
out if he were to be found to return back home.
Mhm.
Um, and I was also listening to that same police off the cuff that let's say he was found, can they arrest him?
Mhm. Nope.
And it's a no. They were looking into unlawful possession of the vehicle, but
Mhm.
the thing is, they were traveling across the U.S. and he was driving and had possession of the vehicle. It may
Mhm.
not be on paper, insurance, registration. However, there's nothing they can do because they have so many pictures and footage,
Of
camera
him driving,
of him
right.
driving, and then they could unlawful possession or use of a debit card, credit card.
Mhm.
But again, too, I'm sure they could find footage of him maybe going to a gas station using her car to fill up, and she was there.
Right.
Even in this case, if she's not present, she's
I
obviously
think
not
at the
present.
very least, he could be charged or brought in with tampering with a police investigation.
They didn't ask that on the.
Not necessarily tampering, but you know what I mean? Like
We would
doing
have we would
something
have
to, yeah.
right, 100% in terms of like where do they search next.
Mhm.
I feel like we would have to have the autopsy results first before that could happen.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, at this point, it could be a suicide, it could be a homicide. We don't know. Let's say
Right.
there is a homicide, and let's say if it wasn't Brian,
Mhm.
um, that information that he could have given, be like, "Hey, I dropped her off here," or "I last saw her here." That could have been great information to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To further along
Back then, right.
exactly the investigation. Let's say if he wasn't involved, but he didn't do that. So yeah, they didn't mention that when they were chatting, but yeah, like we have no idea, and like kind of like yeah, what's the next step? You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So it's a tough one. I feel like he'd be an idiot to stay in the US
Yeah, to just keep walking down the road like he is. Like, what is he doing?
without a vehicle, and even to go into a business to say and rent a vehicle. Like whether he has a fake ID or is using his ID, or
Right.
we have no idea if he's even still alive at this point.
Right.
But I
I don't
I
know.
just I feel like if the parents were very, very worried that he, let's say, was suffering some depression and some mental health issues and kind of in a crisis on the Tuesday, when they
Mhm.
didn't hear from him all day Tuesday,
Mhm.
Wednesday they went and picked up his vehicle from where they last that they saw or he was going,
Mhm.
and then wait all day Thursday, not say anything, and then report him Friday evening. That's
Right.
very odd. If you
They
were really
have to know
concerned,
something. They gotta know something. They have to.
right? So there's definitely yeah,
Maybe they'll end up being charged in the end with something too.
and I honestly think they should be because
Mhm.
there's no way he came in and said nothing.
Right.
And
Just nothing, not a
the
word.
the fact that he isn't sharing that information could have been
Mhm.
information they said to the police, and he literally hasn't spoken to me, he hasn't told me anything and kind of clear their innocence. I know they don't wanna go against their son and kind of like it could look as like a form of betrayal,
Right.
but like
At least saying that, that's not
something
saying
that he's
anything bad against their son, that's saying he just hasn't talked to me.
yeah, so they definitely took a very strong stance with, um, using their attorney and coming out with a statement that they don't wanna talk, he doesn't wanna speak, and the parents aren't speaking.
Mhm.
So and who knows the dynamics of the family,
Right.
in the end. But
Who
it's
knows?
overall just a very, very sad story, and it's like
It
the
is.
names are going to
Yeah.
Bobby's, so rest in peace to her.
Yeah, for real. Rest in peace, Gabby. We will continue to keep you guys all updated on what goes on. If Brian is found, where he's found, what goes on with that. We
Yeah.
will keep you all updated.
But the last thing that I did hear about the search at his place was that it was called off a few hours ago, like abruptly called off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the
Okay.
neighbor said there was, obviously a bunch of media, helicopters swarming the area, and then just
Mhm.
abruptly everybody left.
Oh, wow.
So
Maybe they found something.
yeah, because yeah, for the media, I feel like to just up and leave, there has
Yeah.
to be something.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hear a press conference tonight.
I'm hoping so. Fingers
Probably have another update for you guys tomorrow.
exactly. And hopefully my allergies and this fly in my house that keeps
Yeah.
buzzing in my ear is gone.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll keep you guys updated, and hopefully
Heck,
get this video posted tonight. Again, it's September 20th. It's Monday, unfortunately. Um,
unfortunately,
yeah,
yes.
around, well, it's 7 p.m. Eastern and it's 6 p.m.
Central.
Central.
Yep.
So we'll hopefully get that posted quick. Depends on my tech skills and how much my computer wants
You're
to.
pretty techy. I suck at tech, so you'll get it.
Except for I
All
deleted our
right.
whole audio.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's okay. I get one chance.
All
Okay.
right. Woo.
Okay. Yay! Perfect.
All right.
Okay, have a good night. I'll text you if I hear of anything.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let me know what's going on.
Sounds good.
All right, bye.
Bye.